Who doesn't like authentic Italian? Today we have the 2020 Fiat 500X Sport. If you like this true Italian styling, a unique factor to your car, you're gonna like this Fiat 500X. Now this car has a lot of options on it, so you can see all the features and everything that you can get. We're gonna do a full detailed look on the outside, the inside, and go for a test drive. Let's get started. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in for this 500X review. Now this is the Sport model, which is all new for this year. We have the Pop, Trekking, Sport, and Trekking Plus trim levels, and this will be all about this Sport. Now one thing that may draw a lot of you to the Fiat 500X is this true Italian styling. This is definitely very unique. So starting right up front, you definitely have a rounded kind of bulbous front end. We do have LED daytime running lights, LED headlights, and LED fog lights. The LED headlights are actually optional, otherwise they will be halogen, and that LED fog light in the bottom acts as a cornering light. So when you're taking turns and you turn your blinker on, that fog light automatically turns on and illuminates. And these lights look pretty cool at night, and they do a really nice job as well. This bright red color is called Rovente, and I like it. It fits this Fiat 500X very well. Even this two-tone black roof is optional, and even at night, this red is bright and vibrant and fits this Fiat 500 very well. Our particular model has the optional 19-inch wheels. Typically, you'll get 18-inch wheels on this one. I think those look pretty sleek. They fill out the wheel well pretty well. And those tires are actually really aggressive. And this is kind of a higher riding vehicle, as you can see. You do have a turn signal in the mirror, sport badge on the side. This is about 167 inches long, and you'll have about 7.9 inches of ground clearance. And that's pretty good. That's better than you would expect. So all-wheel drive plus that ground clearance should be good, you know, in snow conditions, things like that. When we get to the back, of course, like I said, you do have that black roof, almost like a little spoiler coming off the back. We also have LED tail lights. The turn signal is right inside of there. Definitely completes the look for this 500X. Have the all-wheel drive badge, and you've got a dual exhaust tip right there. If you're looking at a crossover or hatchback, it's probably because you want a good amount of space and practicality back here. Well, that's one downside to this Fiat 500X. You do have 14 cubic feet behind the second row, which is okay, but there are some smaller cars with trunks that are actually bigger than this. Now you can throw some stuff back here. As you can see, I have a couple of bags, but the slope right here really cuts into this cargo space. There is a compact spare tire underneath, although that's an option, it is not standard. And when you fold down the second row, you get 32 cubic feet, which is better, but the second row is fairly high and it actually kind of runs up an incline, so not as much space as many of its competitors. The smart key system with push button start and remote start comes standard on this 500X Sport. So the way this one works is to lock it, you can press this button, and to unlock it, there's a sensor in the back. You just slide your hand and it's usually pretty responsive. When you hop into the front seats of this Fiat 500X, we have the optional Sport leather seats that are 12-way power adjustable with 4-way lumbar support. They have 500 written on them, and they are pretty large bolstered. These seats are also heated, which is nice, and they are mostly comfortable. I haven't had any complaints with this. I like the fact that we have 4-way lumbar support at 5'9". I've got enough headroom in here, and I can still even move the seat down a little bit. Once you get over 6 foot, I'd question how much room you have. I sit far enough back to where the left armrest, the driver's door armrest, is pretty much useless to me. Another thing is that I really like the bolstering on these seats, especially because this is the Sport model. They're big bolstered on the sides and a little bit around your thighs as well. The steering wheel is a Sport steering wheel. I'll show you this in a second. It is leather wrapped with a little bit of Alcantara. You've got tilt and telescoping adjustability. I wish it could go a little bit lower, honestly, but it's still comfortable. The interior is reminiscent of the outside with some circular and bulbous materials, and we have a lot of options on this interior. So to quickly start over on the door, you do have a softer material up above if you like to rest your arm. This is nice and soft. The armrest is nice and soft and padded, but like I said, my arm doesn't even fit on there, so it should be fine if you sit a little closer to the steering wheel. Nice deep grab handle. All 4 of those windows are automatic one touch. This grab handle is pretty nice. It feels pretty good. We have a good sized bottle holder right there and a little storage cubby here. The button to start it is actually right there, so it's a little bit out of the way. I'd like to see it maybe here or down there like other cars. Small complaint. Start it up. First thing is this sport steering wheel. So you kind of have a flat bottom. You've got this red stitching on the inside of it, and even this Alcantara insert on each side. Some big bulky sport grips here. It is comfortable to hold on to. You have controls on the front of it for your cruise control and your information display, paddle shifters, real small paddle shifters, and then there are audio controls on the back of each side of the steering wheel. We also get rain sensing windshield wipers, which are optional to this particular model. And then you got 3 pretty large gauges right here. Well, actually 3 areas for gauges, 2 physical and 1 digital. If we zoom in on this middle one, controlling it with your steering wheel, there's quite a bit of information on here. It's not my favorite to navigate through. I wish it was a little bit simpler, I guess, but you can see a digital speedometer. You've got trip A and trip B, and there's 1 screen at a time that you can see. Then you do have some more useful vehicle information, tire pressure, your driver assist features with radar cruise and lane keeping system, things like that. Right up above the gauges, you have the same kind of material in red stitching that you saw on the steering wheel. And then as you come across, you've got this 7-inch touchscreen that sits up here on this little tablet style screen. Now, one thing that I don't like is that with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, it's actually really small. So if you see the actual outline for the screen, it's much wider than the actual Apple CarPlay Android Auto area. So it just shrinks it down. If we go back to like the main screen, it gets larger, which is better and nicer. It's fairly responsive. There's a good amount of stuff that you can do on here. There are different settings that you can customize on here as well. And 7-inch screen is what is standard. You got physical knobs on each side for volume and tuning. The Uconnect system is fairly intuitive. There's a lot that you can do, a lot that you can see. This does also have the Beats audio system, which does sound pretty nice. And I kind of like this little 500 with the headphones up there. You know, it's just kind of got some character. Then more of the bulbous, kind of the round design like you see on the front. You can turn off the auto stop start here. That is standard and will always revert to being on. Then as we go down, another optional feature is dual zone climate control. Typically you'll just get a regular air conditioning controls, but we actually have passenger and driver climate controls. You can sync them up, you can have your own, and it's fully automatic. On the screen, if we go into reverse, we do have dynamic lines and even a center line, almost as if it's a hitch line. Then right down there, you've got heated seat controls, you've got front and rear parking sonar, the button over there, that's another option. 2 USB ports, a little storage cubby, and a 12-volt power outlet down there. And then as we come back, we've got cup holders that actually illuminate at night. They fit the bottles pretty well. This whole center console area has a nice little, very gentle illumination at night. With the shifter, like I said, we do have paddle shifters, but you can also move this over into the plus and minus mode to manually shift with this. This knob is for your drive modes, and you have to actually turn it and hold it in order to get into the mode. So you have sport, auto, to where it will depend on how you're doing, and then basically a traction mode if you're maybe in snow. There is an electronic parking brake, no brake hold button though. The center console is really nice and soft. I definitely like that. It does slide forward as well, so it helps if you like to have your elbow here and then on the steering wheel with your hand, but it's pretty tiny on the inside. To make up for that, you have a little storage cubby right there. Definitely more unique. Don't always see that, but I definitely appreciate it. And then a regular glove box. Right up above, you get an automatic dimming rear view mirror. And then we have this dual pane sunshade. So we have ours and we have the one in the back. And this is optional. My only complaint with this is that the screen is actually somewhat see-through. So when it's like 100 degrees out here like it is today, I just feel better knowing that no light can filter through here, even though it probably doesn't actually heat the car up. Now let's take a look at visibility. So looking out there, you do have a pretty large window on this driver's side, and then coming around to the back, not terrible. Pretty big blind spot right there, and looking out the back, you know, about what you'd expect for a crossover. Now when you hop into the back seat of this Fiat 500X, it is pretty darn crammed back here. This is not my favorite place to be. As you can see, sitting behind myself, my knees are actually against the seat. There is a decent amount of foot space for me to be able to move that. And when I'm sitting here, I can feel my hair touching. Maybe on a good hair day, my hair wouldn't touch, but at least I can sit without my head pushing into the ceiling. I think the coolest thing about this back seat is that you have your own little sunshade right here that you can control. The driver doesn't have to control it, the passengers can actually do it. So you have a small sunshade. It is separate from the one up front, but at least you kind of have your own. There's no center folding armrest right here, which I really expected, which would be nice. There are no AC vents for the back seat, but this is such a small vehicle. The ones in the front have a pretty direct chute back here. There is one USB charging port in the middle. So the back seat, probably totally fine for most children, but not really adult friendly. And one more thing, the upper portion right here is a hard touch. Now when you look under the hood of the Fiat 500X, a car's not allowed to look like this if it's not at least a little bit fun to drive, right? Well, this one is somewhat fun to drive, and we'll talk about that in the test drive, but first of all-wheel drive is standard, and under the hood we get the direct injected 1.3 liter 4-cylinder engine with 177 horsepower, 210 pound-feet of torque that comes out pretty early. This is a turbocharged engine considering how small it is at 1.3 liters. It comes with a 9-speed automatic transmission. We'll talk about how smooth it is. Miles per gallon is okay, but definitely not that good considering the size of the vehicle and just how small the engine is. 24 miles per gallon city and 30 on the highway. I have one complaint related to the powertrain. It's the fact that the warranty is 4 years, 50,000 miles. Almost every vehicle that you see comes with at least a 5-year, 60,000 mile warranty. Some of them 10-year, 100,000 mile on the powertrain. Let's go ahead and hop in and see just how well it drives though. All right, y'all, we are just getting going in this Fiat 500X Sport. So in this test drive, I'm going to give you some of my just first impressions. This is the first time I've ever driven a Fiat. What it's like to daily drive, the acceleration, the ride comfort, braking, a little bit of the driver assist features, and just kind of a rundown of how this thing drives. So first impression is that it almost feels a little bit go-kart-esque. I say that because I don't necessarily say it because we feel low to the ground, but because it's kind of a firmer steering wheel. There's a little bit of powertrain noise, and it's a little bit of a stiff ride. So right off the bat, I'm gonna go ahead and accelerate around this corner. Was not pedal down, but I don't know if you heard that last little bit, that 9-speed transmission. There have been some hard shifts in this car, some delayed shifts, bad shifts, but ride comfort in here is okay. For this size of a vehicle, it's really not bad, but it is kind of stiff. So if you're used to a plusher, softer riding car, maybe a larger sedan or a larger SUV, this is going to feel pretty rough and pretty stiff to you. These 19-inch wheels on this car probably aid in that stiffness and definitely don't help. The actual steering feel, we'll take a couple of corners here. It feels really good. It feels connected to the road. I like the actual weight of the steering wheel and the way the steering wheel feels. So it's not really lightweight like some cars or some SUVs. There's actually a little bit of effort involved, but you have a connected feel. It feels nice going around corners, and it makes it a little more fun. That's another kind of go-kart type feeling that I mean when I talk about this, is that it feels like you're connected to the car. You've got good control of this car. Now, most of you obviously are not going to drive in sport mode or need sport mode, but I'm going to put it in sport mode and accelerate around this corner in a second. The handling is good, but not great. There is definitely some body movement. Go ahead and accelerate. And it gets you up to speed pretty quick. It's certainly not a burner, but it's got a lot of torque. So what that means is with this turbo, once you get the RPMs to about 2,000, a tad over 2,000, this vehicle accelerates really quickly. Now we just came to a stop. Good time to talk about ergonomics. Everything in here is okay. It is definitely a little bit tight and kind of narrow. I wish that screen wasn't tilted forward. There are some decent little storage cubbies, about what you'd expect in a small crossover. I like the way the steering wheel feels, and overall it's, decently practical in here. Now as we get going, the torque on this turbo is great for city driving. You don't hardly have to get on it at all. So this is a great little in-town car, but it does well getting up to speed as well. I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in automatic mode or normal mode, where it's kind of just your traditional drive mode. And overall, I would say this Fiat 500X is gonna please most of you in terms of its driving dynamics. If you're looking for all-wheel drive and kind of a fun character to it, this is definitely a good option for you. But if you need the back seat legroom, you want some more elbow room in here, or maybe more cargo space, there are definitely better options. Now, this also does have the radar cruise control, the speed sensing cruise control. You can do that on the steering wheel. You can do regular cruise control as well, all on the steering wheel here. It also has the lane keeping system, and all of that has worked well. You can turn all that stuff off and change the sensitivity of it if you want as well. But I think the biggest takeaway from driving the Fiat 500X is it has a playful nature to it. It's not sporty, I wouldn't say. It's not necessarily fun compared to some vehicles, but it's kind of playful. It's quick. It's got the turbo, so you've got good little instant power. It is a little bit delayed at times, and that 9-speed transmission is not always the smoothest. One thing is that you could probably notice there is a fair amount of engine noise that gets in here, and it does not sound that refined like some vehicles do. There's some tire noise, there's some road noise. The road noise isn't bad, but it's not great. It's about what you would expect for this class of a vehicle, but there's a little more engine noise than I was expecting. Now, in terms of the brakes have a good feel to them. I've had no trouble getting this car stopped. And I would say, daily driving this, super easy to park. Visibility is not bad in here. You've got blind spot indicators on each side, your backup camera, you've got the front and back parking sensors. Very easy to drive, nimble little car, a little bit more fun than some vehicles. But don't be confused by the sport nature of it, or the sport term or name of it. It's not necessarily sporty, but it is a playful little car. Let's go ahead and wrap things up. So to wrap things up, on this Fiat 500X, you've got the fun factor, the unique factor with this styling. It's even built in Italy and definitely has its own flair. If this is what you're attracted to, is the style, kind of the uniqueness and the fun factor of the car, I think you'll really like it. But as you saw, you definitely lose some practicality and some space, so it's not as practical or really worth the $35,000 price tag for this class of a vehicle. Leave your comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to watch some of these other videos and have a great rest of your day.